Item number 30, proposed bus shelter, Manchester Street. Do you want to give a brief intro? I think people are generally very comfortable with this. It's been through a good process. Would you like to move it?
I'll move it.
Yep, and seconded by Pauline. Phil.
Look, although our committee approved this, and I'm in support of the location, I really just want to check with staff because I've got a bit of disappointment about the final design, if you like, and I know it went through a hearings panel. But can you just perhaps clarify to us that in terms of our public transport systems, what a super stop really needs to involve?
So essentially, what we're trying to provide with the super stop is a platform that provides an additional level of comfort that you might normally expect, and also a high level of capacity. And I guess in another sense, it provides an opportunity for enhanced services such as potentially Wi-Fi and IT related services. In this case, essentially, that shelter and the key elements are the length and size of the shelter, provide additional shelter from the weather, and the size of it means that it has the ability to accommodate a high number of users.
So Ryan, with this construction and the design, for example, would we be able to have safety glass in front of it in places so that in fact people sheltering are protected from the easterlies? I'm sorry to be so specific.
It would require an element of redesign. I'm not sure how, without speaking to the designers, I'm not sure how practical that would be.
I guess an example where we've used that type of setup is on the Northland Super Stop, where there's a bit of glass that's I guess along the sort of curb line to give some protection from the wind. That in itself can provide some issues around swing areas with buses and that type of thing. So the advantage of not having that is it gives that sort of clear zone around the curb for people to board at various locations and avoid swing areas.
Is there still any opportunity for the design of the actual pods themselves to be altered?
What we're resolving here today is the location of the stops, and as part of the process, the design, we were asked from the hearings panel to go back and work on the design with the locals. This is what the team and the locals have come up with, so we've got general agreement. Without knowing all the details of the design, it may be possible to retrofit something to the front of that to give some shelter, and it might not change the appearance or the location, obviously, of the shelters to the extent that it goes against what's already been agreed.
Thanks, Stephen. And although I have supported this through committee stage, and I've now got some concerns of it being a super stop, if in fact we don't pass this today, will it slow the whole process down? So in fact there's a slower build, or what would be any likely delay?
It would certainly add delay and potentially complexity as to how Otakaro deliver their Manchester Street project, in that they're presently constructing that wider Manchester Street project, and they will have a process on how they intend on delivering this shelter as part of that process.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay. Any other questions? So you've moved it, seconded by Pauline. I'll put the motion.
I'll speak to it.
Oh, speak to it. You're fine. Yep.
Look, it's actually with quite a lot of reluctance that I do continue to support it. I'm aware this has gone a long way. I guess when I look back at what we had started with the original concept and the earlier design, This is quite different. I guess what we all want to see is the best public transport system we can have, and that includes our infrastructure. So it's with some disappointment that in fact I am moving this and supporting it, because I believe that for future decision making we need to get really serious about having the best public transport. We need to, and this was outside our area of governance in terms of the CBD, but however, I just do add that I would hope that with future bus shelters and stops, that in fact we can improve on this one.
Rev?
Yeah, very quickly, I mean, having been on the hearings panel for this, I think this is a good outcome, so good job from staff, and happy to support it.
Very good.
Just a little clarification. There is a central... Sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
There is a central barrier that will stop that wind, so people can shelter on either side.
That's very, very helpful, but not at the appropriate times. Yep.
Just with regarding the concern of the easterly wind is actually just more of an irritant when it's up and running. The bad weather really comes from the southerly, and this really does cover that. So I do think, and I agree with Ref, this has been an interesting process, but we've got to a really good end, I do think, and everyone's on board with this, and I think it'll be great to get it up and running. It's certainly better than having nothing, that's for sure.
Don't know about your comments about the easterly, Tim. That can be worse than a southerly sometimes.
Right, let's not talk about wind direction. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.